Matt, there was a time where people debated automation and how to orchestrate it, but now it's kind of a must-have because if you don't do it, I don't know how you stay in business.
Yeah, I mean, every team these days is overwhelmed with more work than ever before. And
by the way, have you met one person today that says, I got all the time on my hand, I don't know what to do with it?
I would love to meet that person. They seem like they'd probably be very relaxed and calm. In general, if automation isn't part of your overall security program strategy, you will absolutely burn out your team and just feel this overwhelming sense of like, we are always going to be behind, right? Because there's always more work than there are people.
If you're getting 200 alerts today that need to be reviewed, but you can only manage 50, you're going to have a problem. And that I'm assuming is what's happening.
Yeah, it's alerts, it's new systems coming online, it's the fact that attackers are moving faster than ever before. All of these things are just sort of coalescing to make life pretty overwhelming, honestly, for those who are in the operations seat.
How do we look at this process? Maybe you got a sort of a step-through process on how you deal with this?
You need to be realistic about your current and future capabilities as a team. And we tend to see people fall into two opposite fallacies here. The first is we can write all of this ourselves in Python. But what happens when the person who wrote that script ends up, finding another job, right? Or what if it breaks and they're on vacation? The other fallacy is we're too busy to invest in an automation program.
Because, by the way, doing automation is a little bit easier to set up today. There is a history of automation taking a lot of heavy lifting to get working.
And I think that sort of plays into the second non-negotiable, which is you have to take an iterative approach to automation. You have to be able to start small. What is the 5-minute task that I could spend 5 minutes automating today that starts to build that additional time and capacity for me?
And there's nothing like automating a simple project to get you excited to do the next one.
I think the last recommendation is investing in an automation platform that's not part of an all-in-one sort of overall, security operations platform. In past lives, when I worked in security operations, we had to do basically a full lift and shift to replace our EDR platform. And we were fortunate enough, to be using Tines as an independent platform so that, we didn't have to think about replacing a SOAR platform that was tightly coupled to EDR, right? It let us invest in tools much more flexibly because we said, look, automation is decoupled from all of this, right? Our incident responders don't have to do a single thing different because we're just connecting to different APIs. And so investing in, a vendor neutral automation platform, I think is really critical to be able to give yourself the ability to plan and give yourself that flexibility for the future.
If you want advice on automation and you want to see how others are doing it right, you should be checking out what they're doing over there at Tines. Go check them out. There's the web address right there.